What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? Today's a lovely day. It's a lovely day to be wearing blue, which I genuinely think is the best color in the world. Like, red is the opposite of blue. Is red even the opposite of blue? But right now, I think red is the opposite of blue. So, you will never catch me wearing red. Never. I honestly, look at this. This is blue. I'll catch.
Many months later.
What's up, guys? I thought that
Sky wearing red.
Switch it up a bit and wear red. Like, I know I said I'm not gonna wear red.
Why are you wearing red? What were you saying 2 months ago,
But
You
no,
said
but-
that blue is your favorite color, that you are never going to wear red. You hypocrite. You see, that's a problem with society. People say one thing one day, then they say another thing another day. How dare you? How dare you? Take it off. Take it off.
Yes, like,
Take
am
it
I not
off.
allowed to change my... Am I not allowed to change from
No.
blue to red? I know I said that, but that
No, you're not.
wasn't the truth I was
You're
saying. I'm
not.
allowed
I don't
to
even know why you're talking. You're not. I don't care. Yeah, go away. Go away. Keep the blue. Don't wear red. No. Let me turn it around like this so that it works with the video. I hope you enjoy my skit. If you didn't enjoy it, stop watching. Like, the only people who are welcome here are people who actually enjoy my content. So, like, please leave. No, I'm joking. You may think that I'm wrong for changing my opinion and that I should stick with blue for all the days of my life. Or you might be a normal person and recognize that people change their opinions. They change what they like. But there's a group of people that would think that I am a hypocrite, that I am the scum of the earth for doing that. But they miss that in life, we are going to change. Change is a necessity. Without change, things will die, things will cease to exist. I mean, look at fashion, right? 5 years ago, if you were wearing baggy clothes, you would have been laughed at. And now, if you're wearing skinny, tight-fitting clothes, you're going to be laughed at. Change is normal. Change is necessary. Change is always going to happen. One day you're feeling something heavy. The next you see that, you know what? This other thing that I was sleeping on, it isn't that bad, you know? It isn't that bad. I might just start wearing it. But the issue is, people are scared of hearing other people say, but you said this, you did this last week. And because of that, they never let themselves change. They never let themselves develop.
Something I hear often is, but you said this 2 months ago. And I'm always like, yes, I did say that 2 months ago. But since then, I've been exposed to more information. I've seen more things. I've experienced a bit more of life. So naturally, the way I think has changed. And maybe the same would happen for you if you just picked up a book, right? If you went outside, if you did something, if you just used your brain a little bit, you would naturally change the way you think. But seriously, I have a question for you. Do you think the same way that you thought this time last year? Like, we're in the middle of June now. Last year, June, were you thinking the exact same way that you're thinking right now? Because the answer is probably not, right? You've changed. You've seen a bit of life. You've been exposed to new information. And naturally, you changed. And keyword is naturally. It's a natural part of life to change the way you think. It's a natural part of life to change your opinions. I don't think it's normal to live your whole life thinking the exact same thing, having the exact same opinion about something. See, my closest friends, the people who I yap to every single day, they know for a fact that I change my opinions a lot. And I'll never back down from the fact that I'm probably going to change my opinion. It's a normal part of life to change. It's a normal part of life to change your opinions, what you think about a certain topic. But it's like, there's certain people, and I wouldn't even say it's a majority of people, but they're the loud minority that act like you shouldn't change your opinion, that you're not allowed to change, that if you change your opinion, you're a hypocrite. But the sad thing is sometimes we listen to this loud minority, right? The way our life will be taking us will be leaning towards a certain change. We will see new information, experience new things that will allow us to, like, see another side of life and consequently change the way we think about something. But we'll be thinking about that loud minority that will be like, oh, but you said this 2 months ago, you said this 2 years ago. And then we stupidly prevent ourselves. Not even prevent yourself. Because deep down, you will know that, I don't think like this. But then you'll carry on acting as if you think a certain way. Because you don't want the loud minority to be like, oh, but you changed, you did this, you did that. And letting that loud minority govern the way you develop is the worst thing you can do for yourself. Because in life, we don't develop in a linear fashion like this, getting deeper and deeper into beliefs. What you think is the best way to do a certain thing, 3 years from now, you probably would have changed. See, I think about when I was in school, right? I was like the poster boy. I wasn't even the poster boy smart kid, but I was a part of that group. Like, I got good grades. I did extracurriculars. I didn't. See, it's not in my nature to just break rules for no reason. So I had a good record at school. And the way I thought you'd become successful in this life is you go to school, you go to uni, you get good grades in uni, you get a good internship, then you get a good job, then you climb the corporate ladder. Then eventually you're a CEO. Then, oh, okay, I have experience, so I can start my own business in this area, right? So 3 years ago, if you asked me what's the best way to become successful, I would have told you that. And now 3 years later, I'm pretty much doing my own thing. I didn't go to uni the same time as everyone else. And I've just been exploring life, allowing myself to see things, allowing myself to change in certain directions, allowing myself to be who I truly am, not letting myself be affected by the people that, oh, but you said this, because the Lord knows that the way I thought, the way of living that I preached 2-3 years ago is probably a drastic opposite to what I'm doing right now. Like, who knows, 3 years from now I could be in a corporate office wearing a suit every day, just doing that. And I do think that's going to be a part of my future. In fact, I know for a fact that eventually I'm going to become a corporate man, like just a serious business. But for now, that's not the phase of life that I'm in. And even besides what you think is the way to become successful, I think in general, the way we think, it's not supposed to be you choose something or you fall upon something you're like, right? The way I develop my perceptions, my opinions, just my thoughts about certain things, I have this tendency to go between extremes, right? So I'll say that the only way to become successful is to go to school, and then I'll say, no, the only way to become successful is to like do your own thing, to like break the system, to like escape the matrix. And then it's like I'll gravitate a bit more back to like the school side, and I'll gravitate a bit more to this side. Then eventually I like settle upon something that resonates with me, that isn't just me mimicking what I've heard other people say, but it's true to myself. And I think that's how we develop as humans. I think it's important to allow yourself to gravitate between two extremes, and then eventually you find something that is true to you, right? Because in a lot of life, right, there's no true answer. There's no one way to do it. There's no correct way to do it. There's many ways to do it. And the key is finding a way that you enjoy and a way that aligns with you. See, the thing is, human beings, we don't live static lives. Like physically, we move around. You wake up, you go to the office, you wake up, you go to school, you go on a bus, you be walking there, you be doing all sorts of things. So naturally, the way our body operates is similar to the way our mind operates, right? So our minds aren't meant to be static. We're not supposed to find one thing, then walk in a straight line along that. Because that's what it's like when you don't allow yourself to change. When you say that, I thought this way, so I have to carry on thinking away. It's like you impose a straight line that you're going to walk down your whole life. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine walking down a straight line your whole life. See, in life, we're supposed to like flow. I think about rivers a lot, right? If you looked at one section of the river, like one cross section or one like 500-meter section of the same river, right, it would be flowing to the west. Then if you went somewhere along the lines of that river, right, another section, and you looked at another 500-meter section of that river, you see that it's flowing to the east. So now imagine if you went to that river and you're like, you were flowing to the east here, now you're flowing to the west. That's crazy. Because it's still the same river, but it's just going through its natural cycles. And even though it's flowing to the west there, flowing to the east there, it's necessary for it to get to where it needs to go. And most times that's an ocean or that's a lake. I think it's an ocean. Whatever, wherever a river flows. Some of them flow into seas, some of them oceans. I think some of them flow into lakes. The point is, even the direction that the same river flows and changes. Like the Nile River, in one section of the Nile River is going there. And then another section of the Nile River is going there. But it's still the Nile River. And it's necessary for it to flow in those different directions so that it gets to its point. And that's how it is for the way we think and the way we develop. We're not supposed to go in this linear progression like, I'm going to choose right. I'm always going to go right my whole life. Sometimes you have to go left. Sometimes you have to go backwards. Sometimes you have to go up. Sometimes you have to go down. Like, you're not limited to just left and right and forward and back. Sometimes go down. And that's just a part of life. That's just a part of the flow of life. You just need to allow yourself to be in those different directions. Allow yourself to do something that you thought you'd never do. Because sometimes what you thought you'd never do ends up being the thing that you should do. And quite frankly, I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm being deadly honest with you. I never thought. I mean, I always wanted to do YouTube. Like, always. It's always at the back of my mind. But I never thought I'd be as drastic as I am right now. Like, to go all in. I never thought that I'd do that. I always thought I'd do the safe thing. And then, maybe do it on the side. But see, I allowed myself to be. So you need to allow yourself to be. Are we back or are we back? We're back. I'm going to be filming a lot of videos in the sun because this winter it is hitting me. Look, with all that I've said, right, there are probably a few of you who think it's okay to flip-flop, right? What I will say is, I've learned for myself that you always have to live according to your deepest realization, what you know to be true in the moment. So if you think, or you wholeheartedly believe that this is the way and this is the truth, like, this is the truth, then you have to live by that. Because if you don't do that, you are a hypocrite. Like, the bad connotations of that word, you are a hypocrite. You are living to a lower potential. So when it comes to changing your opinion, you have to distinguish between whether it's true or where there's just something that's subjective, something that there's no truth to it. Like the color red or blue, right? I've switched to red. Funny enough, it wasn't even on purpose. I just switched. I was just wearing this and I happened to record. But when it comes to things that are subjective, it's okay to switch. When you realize that, okay, no, I don't like this, or this is what I like, right? It's okay. But when it comes to matters that aren't as subjective, you have to make sure that you aren't just selling yourself short. You aren't just shrinking when you could be living into like a higher truth and you just start to shrink. I feel like I've been waffling the past 30 seconds or 45 seconds, right? The point I'm trying to make is there's no harm in changing when things are subjective. Like when you think that blue's the best color, then you're like, I know, I actually like red. But where the harm comes is when you find out an objective truth of this world. Like, let's say the best way to move is with love, because that's what I truly believe, that the best way one can move is filled with love, right? And then you change your mind and you're like, no, I'm going to move filled with hatred. And it's like, it's not that you're just changing your mind because you've experienced a bit of life. It's like you're shrinking, not living as best as you can. And also, I'm just making all these exceptions, all these caveats, because everything in life has a caveat. Everything in life has an exception. Everything in life has, do this, but in certain situations you have to leech, right? And yeah, just wanted to make sure that I included it in the video because I was aware that it could make people be like, let me just flip-flop on everything. And that's not the way to do things. But yeah.